I'm
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to begin this program with a very, very auspicious chanting of invocation and lighting of the lamp. And for that, I'm inviting a very young, cute Chinmay, her mother Lakshmi, and her father Suraj. May you please begin with the chanting and the lighting of the lamp. Suraj.
Video is not on, yeah.
Surajji, you're mute.
वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शुभं करोतु कल्याणं आरोग्यं सुखसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्।
Thank you. Thank you, Chinmay. Thank you, Lakshmi and Suraj. With this very, very auspicious invocation, we are going to begin with the Evoking Excellence program. Ladies and gentlemen, I have great pleasure, great privilege in speaking to all of you about the program, about the speaker, and some context in which we are doing it. Shraddhe Swamiji, Sri Satyamurthy Ji, Suraj and family, and all the distinguished participants. Thank you very much for joining the Evoking Excellence program today. The session, as I said, will be blessed by Swami Chidrupanand, who is a very revered Acharya of Chinmayanand Mission and presently at Noida. He has played a leading role in the mission in different capacities, particularly with the All India Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. Swamiji has enlightened leaders from all walks of life, corporate, bureaucracy, medical, education, all professionals. As the Acharya of the mission, he has delivered over 300 talks on Mahabharata and over 600 talks on Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad. His insight, wisdom, oratory, and his ability to embrace technology has won him reverence, gratitude, and awe from the seekers all over the country. His brainchild, beyond teaching for teachers and evoking excellence for the school leaders, are the profound ideas of lecturing, guiding, and mentoring. And this has been the personal initiative of Swamiji, who has mentored leaders in education in several schools in the country, and he has personally visited many, many schools for offering his guidance and mentoring. He has blessed the school conferences such as National Progressive Schools Conference, Action Committee Conference, and many others all over the country. I'm indeed very lucky that I have been personally part of the Evoking Excellence program, which has seen prior to this 3 episodes, and this one is the 4th one, which of course we are doing in a virtual mode. Swamiji, I welcome you on behalf of all the 300 participants now. We are expecting more, in fact, 500 people from 18 states, 250 schools. Out of that, 100 from NCR region itself have registered for the program. I may also add that 100 school leaders, such as principals and directors, 300 leaders in the making, such as vice principals, headmasters and headmistresses, and 100 aspiring leaders, teachers, educators, HODs are there in the program. Ladies and gentlemen, Swamiji's discourse today will provide us a pathway to steer clear through the difficult phase and beyond. His guidance will provide us with a safety net around us, around our students and our families. We are passing through a very, very difficult phase, and that can only be described as a cascading dilemma. And this is the word used by a former Army general in the United States. May I share here with you, Arjun was faced with only one dilemma as to how to fight a war with his own kith and kin. But today's world, we are facing a series of dilemmas, a series of changing, fast changing scenarios. And as a school leaders, as principals, as teachers, as caretakers of the students, our own families, I think we are in a very, very difficult phase. And it is during these times that we look forward to an insightful spiritual gurus and masters to come to us and enlighten us. So it is in this background that today's talk by Swamiji is going to have a profound importance and impact. My experience to listening in Swamiji several times in the past has taught me 3 things. It inspires the listeners, and particularly to me, at 3 different levels. Level 1 is the familiar awe. You listen to Swamiji and you say, oh, Swamiji has said something like this, which I knew, which I was pursuing, which I was practicing. And then we feel very happy and we feel aha about ourselves that look, today, a person of the stature of Swamiji has endorsed what I was doing. So this is the first level of inspiration. The second level of inspiration is what we call grateful surrender, because Swamiji comes from a background where his scriptural knowledge, his wisdom, his insight gives us a shelter home where we go and we surrender and we get the pearls of wisdom from there. So that is the second layer of inspiration which we get. And the third one is, which is very, very important in my opinion, that being the ordinary human beings and, involved in the rigmarole of everyday dilemma, sometimes we get confused. And we say to Swamiji, without speaking to him directly, Swamiji, very nice. Thank you very much. What you have spoken is absolutely fantastic. But it is very difficult to practice. But the moment we say that it is very difficult to practice, at the same time, a little bit wisdom inspired by his talks come. And then we say, no, we commit ourselves to learn, to explore, to expand our creative spaces, and we are going to do exactly what we have to do as first-rate human beings. So these are the 3 levels of inspiration that we get, and I'm sure we are going to get it today itself. I'm sure you will have the same experience today, and without being for too long between you and Swamiji, I will straight away invite Swamiji with all my respect to guide us, to give us a pathway, to handhold us and to take us forward. After Swamiji's presentation is over, I will invite Sri Satyamurthy ji to sum it up in few words. After that, I have to make an announcement. And after that, we will have a question answer session. For the question answer session, some questions we'll be able to take here. But for the paucity of time or for respect of time, some of the questions are on the screen, some contacts will be displayed. You can write your questions and the answers will be provided to you. So that is a little bit of housekeeping instruction. So now may I, Swamiji, with all my respect and reverence, invite you to enlighten us. Swamiji, over to you.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Thank you, Ashok Pandeji. Very beautiful introduction you gave. Now, in the beginning itself, since the prayer we have done, I want all the participants, whoever is listening, wherever you are, we will have meditation for a couple of minutes. So I request all of you to switch off your mobiles for 4 or 5 minutes only, not more than that. I'm sure you are doing it. I see it, you are doing it. Sit in your own chairs comfortably. Close your eyes and take 2 or 3 deep breaths. Now, each one of you, with your own mental body, with the mind, come out of your houses and feel that you are standing in space. Space at a comfortable height where you can see the earth like a football. You are standing in space. Now all of us, we know some of us each other, some of us may not know, but mentally, around 500 people are attending this webinar and through Facebook also. All of us make a huge circle in space. Holding our hands, I am holding the hands of people who are next to me, and thus we will form a beautiful circle in space, standing in space, and we can look down upon the earth through the circle what we created. Between the circle and the down below, earth is there, beautiful planet, blue planet. We must love our own earth. Having done this, holding the hands, closing your eyes, I am doing it. I am seeing all of you. I am feeling all of you there, holding each other hands in space. Let each heart, each of us, our hearts, see it, visualize it as a glowing lamps, glowing lights, dazzling lights. Each heart is dazzling with all its purity in it, shining. All the hearts are shining now. And see that is thin silvery thread connecting all the hearts. A thin silvery thread connecting all the hearts of all of us. Each heart is a dazzling light and connected through a shining silvery thread, which is also a form of light, and holding all our hands, hearts together, and let there be, all of us contribute our light and feel that all the hearts united field of all our hearts with a dazzling light, mighty light, radiant. You cannot see it with your own eyes, so dazzling. That light is formed in the middle of our circle. The combination, the combined energy of all the hearts put together, I am seeing it, a huge, dazzling, radiant sun-like energy is there. With all our intended focus of all the hearts put together, let us throw that light on earth. Feel that a huge beam, that beam of light whose diameter is much more than the earth diameter, that entire light is falling upon earth, encircle the earth, and it is offering a great healing to the planet. Great healing to the planet. And let this light touch the hearts of all men and women on planet, not only human beings. Let this light penetrate the hearts of all animal kingdom. Let it touch the plants. Let it enter into all the caves and rivers and oceans. Let the whole earth be filled and soaked with that divine light, that common light, that intended light of all the unified field of our hearts. And let that light provide solace, comfort, courage, and let this light inspire people to live in these terrible times. Let this light provide confidence. Let this light provide great devotion towards the Lord. And let this light inspire men and women to live for fellow human beings. Let this light inspire all those people who have with them a lot of money, wealth. Let this light cause a greater inspiration to share what they have with the poor and needy ones around. Let this light arouse a great compassion and hold this feeling, intended thought for yourself, for all earth. You are equally responsible. All of us are so beautifully holding our hands together in space. Our unified heart field is so powerful, and it is completely showing that light on earth, and earth is completely filled with the light, that light of divine, light of comfort, and light of confidence. Pray to the Almighty for the healing of the planet and all the inhabitants of the planet, plant, animal, and human. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Hold that thought for a moment. Now feel that you are looking at each other in the great circle, still holding the hands. Thank all the group, each one, thank everyone, whoever is connected virtually today. Let us together pray for the earth. And now slowly you can free your hands from clasping the other hands. Put one namaskar and slowly feel that you are coming back to your own chair. The mind is returned to your physical body. Wherever the bodies are, in the chairs or comfortable places, wherever you are seated, again come back. Close your eyes for one moment. Remember what we have done in the space. And feel that you are soaked in that light, what we have just intended upon the earth. You are also soaked in that light. And slowly rub your palms and slowly open your eyes. Thank you all for participating in this beautiful meditation. I'm sure you would have got some contentment, some peace that we have participated today in this beautiful meditation for the earth. We must pray for the earth every day. Thank you, friends. Now, coming to the point of my presentation, I will start here. I'm using my share screen. This is our Chinmaya Mission motto and Chinmaya Yuva Kendra motto. Friends, let us start. I'll speak about 45 minutes now. I set my time. So I will be there by 12:10. I will leave. I will leave the session, then continue over to Ashok Pandey after 12:10. Sir, need of the hour. Though I mentioned it as for institution, it is meant for everybody. Now remember, in the entire planet, this pandemic, what it is there, it is actually setting us into a new normal. Therefore, first of all, this is an unprecedented situation on the planet. Never ever we saw such a global pandemic. And challenges have enveloped us from all 360 degrees. And interestingly, no field remains untouched by COVID-19. You think of not only education systems, not only industries, not only economics, not only everything you name it, everybody is affected by this. And now what happened after this pandemic has started, now you see the globe, there is a pandemic of fear everywhere. The fear gripped all the hearts of all the people. Not only individual worries. I get to hear so many stories. What will happen to me? What will happen to my daughter's wedding? What will happen to my education? What will happen to my job? What will happen to health? What will happen? So many worries we have. Full of worries, and everything is uncertainty. What is going to be the future? We don't know. And whole nature, in fact, we are actually in lockdown. I have seen whole nature is celebrating. Animals are celebrating. Atmosphere is celebrating. Because human beings are actually locked down, all animals have started coming up onto the streets and birds are started chirping. So much of greenery everywhere. Pollution levels are going down. Rivers are automatically becoming purer and purer. And a wonderful phenomenon everywhere, except human kingdom. That means what? So far in the history, down the history, we have not been living sensibly on the planet Earth. And therefore, the most troublesome called human being is locked down. Whole nature is celebrating. See that? Actually, we must learn lessons. Humanity should learn lessons from this situation. And remember, friends, I'm just setting you, I'm not going to give you much details, but we are going to see a new normal in the world. We may not get back to the normalcy, what we used to have. The world is setting a new normal. A great masters have always, spiritual masters have already warned us that what is going to be the future, we must be very careful because a new normal will be set. Now already, so many habits we got into, it was recently during lockdown. So new normal will be set up. So now, a very important statement. If you have a pen and paper, you can write down this. So beautiful it is. Remember, friends, first golden mantra, you attract what you fear. So don't fear COVID, don't fear anything, because fear creates such an energy, it has a tendency in that energy to invite all those energies of which you are afraid of. They come to you. This is the inner pranic mechanism. And second thing is, so don't you attract what you fear. Second thing is, you become what you hate. A great Tibetan master by name Jwalpul had given this. You become what you hate. So if you hate something or the other, you have again tendency to become that. So two principles for entire leaders, for all mankind is that we should remember, we attract what we fear and we become what we hate. These two principles, remember this, especially in the present times. Now, so therefore, please avoid these two. I'm going to have 3 sections in this presentation. One is attitudinal shift in leadership during pandemic. I'm not going to, because if you go to specifics, like for example, how to make students sit in the class after the lockdown, keeping social distancing in view, what kind of planning has to be done. I'm not going to enter into all those details because their details are so many, every department, every wing, everything you have to work out and let the time decide. Don't worry about it now. Don't unnecessarily think about it and spoil your peace of mind. As the vehicle goes forward, the road opens, the road becomes clearer. So don't worry about that. So I'm going to talk to you today on attitudinal shift. What kind of shift in attitude should take place during the pandemic? And in the pandemic, if the still online courses are going on, classes are going on, even after that, also after the holidays also, some of schools are holidays now in June in North India. After the holidays also, what we should do is, what is that we can use this pandemic as an opportunity to teach our students. Many things can be taught. I just picked up 4 or 5. And what should be our mind? Where should we focus our mind during pandemic? These are the things I'll now start. First one. In attitudinal shift in leadership, I'll be speaking about 8 shifts required. We know vision. We always speak about vision. In actually I'm speaking, in Vedantic talk you take for example, vision, almost all visions, 99.99% of visions, plural, are actually born out of Rajoguna, to achieve, to be passionate, to do something, to reach some destination, to show, all those things, all the Rajoguna. That's why I put this time in pandemic, what we need is a benign vision. Very beautiful thing. A benign vision is required, not ordinary vision. Now, what is benign vision? Our vision should be how to carry on this education further. How to teach our children in this pandemic and beyond lockdown period also. After this, what will happen? Our COVID is already gone. How to carry this education? Now you have seen unexpected challenges in the field of education. In every field there are challenges. Let us talk about education. Unexpected challenges. I'm not enumerating them. I know what is happening. I discussed with some principals and some people involved in education institutions. I know what are the problems are happening. So many problems are there. But in and through all these problems, how to carry on this education forward? So that which you need, not a passionate vision, a benign vision is required. Sattvic vision is required. Second thing is, now read this very carefully. This cannot be a vision of molding the present to a desirable future. It's not that, I will alter the present because I know the future, comfortable future is there. I know how to alter my present situation, change the situation and reach my vision in future. This is not possible, may not be possible now. So what we need is we have to bear the present. The present times are not so conducive to mold itself into a better future. No. What we should do, from the present only, whatever difficulties you are facing, you must come out and evolve future needs of education. In education system, what are the future needs will be? Like, every teacher has now started learning how to conduct online courses. Every person, very tough to teach. We are not familiar. So many teachers have said, principals have said, we are not tuned to this. Very difficult. Teachers are working hard and institutions are working hard. I know all those things, yes. So what is happening is now, the vision should be not simply molding the present to a future. It should create actually from terrible times, another vision has to be brought up to understand what exactly is to be done in future. And as I said in the talk, I'll give capsules in 45-50 minutes. I'll give capsules. Working out details, you can work out depending upon the institution, its location, what kind of students are coming. And so many questions are there. Now, some new skills as part of this has already been in practice. Ever since lockdown started, ever since school started running through Zoom, etc. Now, new skills are already you are learning, and actually you are all growing in cultivating new skills. I'm happy that all teachers and principals, education people, they're thinking and growing and exploring various opportunities that are available in technology. That's nice. And I request all of you, don't utter this word, worst situation, worst situation, worst situation, very bad situation. I have never seen in this in life. Don't use that word, worst, worst, worst. It creates a negative energy. Be calm. Situations are okay, terrible. You need not name it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it is hot outside. So you don't have to tell somebody who's suffering from heat, very hot today, very hot today. Other man say, I know that I have also skin in my body. So don't call this worst situation. What should be benign vision means what? Approach this with a new outlook. Yes, situation is bad. But then don't make a huge and cry about it. Everybody, all spiritual organizations also are not doing any work. Everywhere there are difficulties everywhere. So first one is benign vision. Second one, a compassionate outlook. Here in this way, where so many outlooks are there, but you need not, in modern world, we need not add compassion. As I told you again, every outlook behind some achievement, some goal is set, some kind of, what do you call, a vision is kept there in every outlook, that's okay. But now, bring compassion. Very, very important. You look at the teachers, you look at the students, you look at the workers and labor, look at yourself also with compassion, look at your family members. Always please understand, have compassion now. Like our Prime Minister has announced that please treat every worker with compassion. So please allow others to share their pain. Remember friends, suppose somebody starts sharing their pain to me, I can easily tell, I know, don't tell me all these things. I'm also in same trouble. I'm same boat only. Don't talk nonsense to me. I can put him off. But a leader should not do that. So allow others to share their pain, right? Instead of you handing over the pain down the line, you absorb the pain and allow them to share their problems. Financial difficulties, health difficulties, relatives are set apart. So many problems are seen now in this world. Listen to them. If you listen to them with compassion, I was listening to somebody for about 25 minutes, all his pain on telephone. There's no other option for him. Okay. Now it doesn't mean all of you call me. Huh? So each one 25 minutes into 500, terrible time it will be. Okay. Now, stand by your team even in future. So far you have been taking care of them, no doubt about it. So now your team is including humanity, not only teachers and parents, etc., etc., etc. Stand by team, understand their problems, help them. I know schools are suffering financially now. School fees are not being collected and the staff is not coming regularly to school. A lot of pending work is there. Only teachers perhaps are working through online. And so many difficulties are there. So in spite of all these things, stand by your team. Now, third one is patient observations. It's very good quality it is. Observe. As a leader, learn to observe. Paryavekshana. Or supervising or parisamantat from all sides, samyak vikshana is required. Observe. What should be observed now? Observing the changing environment and immediate circumstance and can be prepared for any drastic changes, whatever they are made without throwing up an attitude of wonder. ये कैसे हुआ, आजकल कैसे कैसे हो रहा है, ये तो नई बात है, कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ, आश्चर्य की बात है. It's very surprising for me to do. Don't observe, patience, and cultivate the patience in you. Dhirata, dhairya, patience. Dhairya, one meaning is patience. Other meaning of dhairya is courage also. So to be patient, you need courage also inside. So patient observations. And patient means what? Very important. Waiting in optimism. Everything will turn out to be good. We may discover new methods of teaching. We may discover a new methods of education system. You know what worry is? So many videos I'm getting it. If people have realized that online is better, what will happen to university buildings? What will happen to college buildings? So is it that, people are start thinking, I got a video, Is it really necessary that education system for colleges and schools should be conducted? Buildings are necessary. Somebody worried now, if buildings are not being used, what will happen to all those huge buildings, those who are constructed and maybe meant given for hiring or own buildings? What will happen to them? So many, this mind has no work. Mind will throw all kinds of problems. So have waiting, whatever it has happened, happens. It happens. So be optimistic while waiting. Don't create, because while you are waiting, mind will throw all negative feelings. And as the studies have shown, for every one positive thought, a normal individual will get 4 negative thoughts. So 1:4, and 1:5, another personality defined. 1:6, 1:8, complete crackdown personality. So much a problem. So one positive thought, if one negative thought is there, is better individual. Suppose I want to get up in the morning, one positive thought, I will get up morning and do my work. Maybe one negative thought, no, not necessary, you can do later. Somehow the mind says lazy, sleep, one negative thought. But out of which I create 10 negative thoughts out of one positive thought for every positive thought. So mind, what happens when you are in waiting, it has a tendency to throw all negative thoughts. Leaders should be very, very, so beautiful now, so calm and quiet and radiant in your being, the divine being. You are all beings of divinity only. So that divinity should radiate everywhere. So patient observations. So hold a thought, all will be well by His grace, or even this will pass away. Now, loving cooperation. So a master said, so read it very carefully on the screen, learn to think with the heart and feel with the head. This is a very secret message. Because master says, for example, love. That which is to be known through love, you can know it only through heart and not the head. Think about it. Head can never know. So mother's love for the child can never understand the mother's love, because child thinks through the head. What could be my mother's love for me? He is thinking through head. But what love is, what child is, mother knows. By what? Not by her head, by heart. So he says, the heart is the one which is capable of knowing everything. So it's a very big. So bring a heart, loving cooperation, bring that heart into operation. So Gurudev said, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananji, so beautifully said, what do we do? While I am dealing with others, I use my head. While I am doing myself, I use my heart. I am very soft to myself, towards myself. But Swamiji says, do otherwise. Ulta. What is that? When you are dealing with others, show compassion, deal with the heart, love, patience, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, etc. While you are dealing with yourself, be strict with you. Don't be lenient with yourself. Punish yourself if required to teach the mind. But what do? I am lenient and I don't punish my mind. I excuse myself, but I don't excuse anybody. So it is said, if you put one step forward towards love and compassion, one step forward towards others, it could be a co-teachers, it could be staff, it could be family members, it could be people who are living in the street. One step forward you show, they will all put 10 steps forward towards you. You see some of the videos of those animal people who rescue animals, dogs, and etc. etc. I saw somebody's video recently. He is having the not only dogs and other many animals, also his street dogs and all that he's doing. And you know how much they love him. They have that response towards the person. Similarly, friends, every leader should be surrounded, because from the heart the radiation should come, pure love and kindness. And loving, if you learn to cooperate, maybe my financial difficulties are there, help them. If possible, help them. Nothing is impossible. Help them. Listen to their pain. Next one. Negotiate calmly. You know, power of negotiation. Especially nowadays, you have to negotiate to work, to things, to get the things done, to know how to do it. Negotiate. So we have an ashram here in Noida, 4 or 5 people. Ever since lockdown started, we have 4 workers here. Otherwise, normally 1 or 2 remains, but now double because they can't go anywhere, so they are staying in ashram. So nobody is coming to ashram ever since lockdown, so we 5 only are staying here. Now, for so many works in the ashram, nobody shows resistance, no doubt about it, there's no resistance, but I need to negotiate calmly with everybody. I said, this is the work to be done, this is the morning talk is there, this is the puja function is there, this is the program to be attended to. All through Zoom or virtual or whatever work, this has to be cleaned, the plants have to be watered. So much of work in the ashram, this has to be cleaned, all has to be cleaned, so many things. So now, what do? We negotiate, calmly negotiate, understanding to them. Now, therefore, if you want your work done with the teachers or with the principals or with the management, I heard one school, I don't want to name it, from South India only, one school, it's a positive case I'm telling, that I don't know how they managed it, I don't know, just about before lockdown started or something, during lockdown just started at that time, when the online classes have begun, teachers are complaining that we can't teach through smartphones. All of them don't have smartphones. All of them don't have laptops also. And then how the teaching will go on? The chairman told, I believe, no problem. If they don't have, immediately we will purchase, I'll get them, and distributed laptops to all teachers. That school may be wealthy enough, that school, but the question is, decisions are taken on time and see that work is done. So how the negotiated teachers can't complain now. We don't have laptop, so teachers also inspired. We got a laptop, we got a help from management, from the chairman. We need to work hard, so we'll work hard. So now in these present times, there are so many issues are there. So many issues are there with respect to institution management. So negotiate calmly. Don't get flare up and don't give logic and that I am also working. You should also work. You should understand us. Yeah, not only we should understand you always. You should also understand. Don't flare up all those things. Bhagwan Ramji, Mitabhashi, Purvabhashi, Priyabhashi, Ramji, Ramchandra Bhagwan. So like that, if you cultivate, negotiation becomes easy. So analyze calmly before you react to any kind of news that falls on your tympanum. And need of the hour is empathetic wisdom. Very important. Empathetic wisdom, not merely experiential wisdom born out of the repeated patterns. I become wise. How did you become wise? I repeated patterns of the mind. No. When I show empathy now, empathy means not merely thinking from other man's view, etc., etc. Actually being there in the heart of the other person. So when your heart merges with the other's heart, then the question is, I may not be directly able to help him, but can I get help for him from somewhere else? That extra step I will take. An extra step I will take. There are so many stories during lockdown. How people have helped extra. Yesterday I was reading a news, one girl of 9th class girl or 10th class from Noida it seems. She gave 2-3 migrants, that's really urgent need. They have to go to some other place, some problem and all. She spent about 48,000 rupees for her flight expenses. There are genuine cases required. She said, she gave a message that, that what will I do with the saved money when it is time is come now to spend. I appreciated the heart. So one should negotiate through situations with the people, with the time, all those things. And leaders have to greatly exhibit this in order to come out of all these challenges. So negotiate for the common good of all. And negotiate. Negotiate not with egoism, negotiate not with the supremacy or I am holier than the attitude, but negotiate it so beautifully. And I'm telling you, you will solve all the problems. Now, timely intervention. This is another important quality for the leader. Shift in attitudinal shift. Learn to flow in time and with time. I know times are bad. Okay, flow with it. Because earlier, some time back, this time was not bad. Bad time was not in some time back. So this is bad time had a beginning. So bad time also will have an end. And when the timely intervention means if you are not able to intervene now, now is the time. If you are not able to intervene now, what is the use of intervention after 24 hours or 36 hours? So this is the time for you to show your compassion, to show your patience, to show your stability of mind, to show your skills. This is the time. Leaders, I'm telling all the principals and directors and academic, this is the time for you to show your skills rather than carrying the worry. So learn to flow with the time, and please do not draw any baseless anxiety from future and deal with one at a time principle. Don't unnecessarily be anxiety. Imagine terrible. Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that, Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashihi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jwaraha. 3rd chapter, 30th shloka. Nirashihi nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigata jwaraha. So beautiful. Gurudev used to say nirashihi, meaning what? Don't have any future unnecessary anxieties about the future. Nirmamaha, don't bring the entire past into the present and muddy the present. Nirmamaha, nirashihi bhutva, yudhyasva, fight it out. Do your duty. Be active in the present. How? Vigata jwaraha, without any feverish excitements in the present. So deal with it calmly, one at a time, principle. So many, I'm telling you, I can give so many examples now. But then deal with one with a time. So many things have come at once, especially now, institution, how to hold students, how to hold classes for them, how to complete the syllabus and how to convey, what about practicals, what about laboratories, and then how to conduct online exams and how to correct them, how to teach them how to conduct online exams. So many things. One at a time you handle. I am sure you will be successful. And take right decisions at right time, born out of you live in the present. Exactly when you are living in the present moment, practice it, brilliant, your intuition opens. When you live in the present, mysteriously what happens? Intuition opens. When you practice living in the present, divine intervention takes place. A beautiful universal intelligence is there, a huge reservoir of universal intelligence. From that intelligence, you will get brilliant ideas. You can solve any problem. But the question is, don't oscillate here and there. So when you practice, yes, situation is bad, be in present. Kim mama kartavyam idanim. Now what is my duty? What is to be done? Don't allow the mind to judge and analyze the situation and compare with other institutions, other countries, and everybody is suffering, and therefore a solace is there. I am also in a solace of peace now. Why everybody is suffering? Mind is actually, instead of attending to the problem, it takes you out of the zone. So be aware and intervene what is to be done. And committed perseverance. Be perseverance, of course, committed perseverance. When I say, don't ask questions now and waste your time that nobody can answer. For example, how long this will continue? They ask me also, Swamiji, ye kab tak chalta rahega ye? I also don't know. How can we say? No, all astrological predictions have gone wrong. So many, कोई कहता है April 14 से improvement होगा, May तक कम हो जाएगा, and all various astrologers have predicted, but ultimately no prediction is coming closer. As far as I studied, so many predictions we get on WhatsApp, this and that, YouTube. And I tell you, everything cannot be predicted. That is the maja of life. Maja is nothing is, everything cannot be predicted. Therefore, best is be prepared for a new normal. I don't know what going to be normal. So we may have to sacrifice our luxurious lifestyle. Swamiji, but I'm not luxurious. So we may have to reduce our whatever usage is there. We may have to learn to live in minimum. We may have to learn to live in sacrifice pizzas, hotel food, oily food, bahar ghumne ka, movies, and so much of freestyle we had earlier. All those things are to be dropped. I'll come to the point later on with the students ke baad mein. Then enjoy the journey of life through present challenges without resorting to loss of heart or any sense of depression. Don't come into depression. Don't resort to a depression attitude. Don't lose your heart. Go through it. Nothing will happen. Ultimately, the essential things, I was telling someone, the most essential thing now is what? Just to live. Not the luxury, not the job, not education. Can I live now with basic food, clothing, and shelter? And protecting myself from COVID and praying for humanity. Can I simply live like this? That is the requirement. People ask me, Swamiji, you have been traveling. Ever since lockdown started, you are not going outside. Are you not bored? I said, boring ka pati. I don't know the word of meaning of boring also. Enjoy every moment. Happy. So enjoy, go through the journey, but persevere. What is the perseverance? How to continue the main focus, that is education, in spite of all the arts, and non-reactionary compliance. Comply. You may have to comply with situations, surroundings, environment, sometimes government orders, central government order, state government orders, or CBSE will have some other rules and regulations. And how can they give such rules now? How can I practice this? Pagal hai kya? So comply. There's no other way. Okay, can you draw your own rules? No, I cannot draw my own rules. I have to obey CBSE rules or the government, state government rules or central government rules. Certain rules are there. Or sometimes DM as a district magistrate has imposed some rules, special rules on account of his powers in my own area. I have to comply. So comply, but no reaction. So don't act under a feeling of compulsion, but under attunement to the new divine order on the planet. It is a divine order. Don't go into all these things, whether China had done deliberately, or is it a biowar, or is it produced in laboratory, and or is it because of an accident, or China blames America, America blames China. Don't, I'm telling you, requesting, if you want your peace of mind, don't get into all these things which you cannot prove it. Mere waste of time. Now, what is to be done now is what? What is to be done is how to live with balance, how to take care of myself, how to take care of people around me, how to continue the core thread of the education, how to hold the hearts of the children. This is the requirement. Don't enter into conspiracy theories, analyzing them, every post you read and disturb yourself. And who cannot prove it? Nobody can. The guy who forwarded, ask him, how did you know? No, I don't know, I forwarded it. That's how samsara is forwarded. Problems are shared with everybody. So reactions are often born out of anger, irritation, fear, insecurity, not knowing to do what, etc., etc. Don't be reactive to all these things. Remember, path open itself before you. Just stay with your eyes wide open. Be alert. And this is a situation we have. I am not addressing any particular problem. Somebody was telling me how to do now when the classroom strength is 40, classroom size is only 40 accommodated. Now the social distancing is required. How to do it? You can have alternate classes, but it is on the paper it will be very good, but if implementation difficult. Bhaiya main kya karu? Somehow you have to come to a conclusion, arrive at a sutra, at a formula, and implement it. Don't instead of questioning like this, question how to solve this problem. In what best way I can implement it. Don't be reaction. Don't show reactions. I think I told you 12 points of attitudinal shift. Okay, I will now run through the rest of the slides. What to teach to the students during pandemic, apart from the academics. It's a golden opportunity, I tell you. What are they? Number one. Oh, this is of course Zoom slide. You can just read it. Nothing. I just got it from net only. I think that is not anything required. There's nothing to. Now, during this period, online education, every teacher, I request you to folded hands. Because parents are also listening. You can ask the child. So, every class may, you pick up one beautiful quotation and one value. Either you can take out that value from the quote or teach one value and one Swami ji, syllabus completion के लिए time नहीं. You Swamis give impractical suggestions to us. And shall I tell you one thing? You people miss an important point. When you relax the heart of the child and relax yourself, the heart-to-heart teaching happens quickly in a smoother way rather than teaching in a tense atmosphere. The student's heart is in tense condition, teacher's heart is in tense condition. In between two tension hearts, the communication, the flow of knowledge will not happen. So how do you relax? The child should look forward today. Be ready with the paper and pen every day. I come to you every day class mein, I will give you one value, date you should maintain. Today, the 2nd June. This is the value, this is the quotation teacher give. Hardly it will take 1 minute. Ask the child to think for next of the day. And parents also listen. Engage them. Don't be so anxious about it. This is the best way to teach them. Okay, next one. Teach them how to remain in balance. Give them one tip at least. In the end, you can give them, or one day you can give values, one day you can teach about how to remain in balance. The value only, focusing how to remain in balance. Teach them small anecdote. Give them examples. If you do this, it will immensely will benefit the child. And third important thing, this is very important. This you can conduct the workshop after the lockdown also, meaning after the school start also, or whenever you want, you can do it. What are those things that they could live without having them during the lockdown? Because some people are used to cool drinks. Some people are used to pizzas. Some people are used to junk food. Some children are used to movies, watch movies once in a week or once in 15 days. So many habits we have. Or every day go out for a tennis or a table tennis or a kabaddi play or a football match or a cricket match every day. Learn and tell them, oh my dear, you got the value of freedom. You could live without all these things during this lockdown. That means you are capable of dropping many things in life. Unwanted things you can drop. You are independent. Discover the freedom in you. And this is the time to cultivate good habits now. So bad habits are dropped, almost done on their own. So let them learn, let them focus on those things. And what new things they are learning during lockdown, ask them to share with you. And I'm telling you, children are learning many things. The wise children are there. They know parents are teaching them what good things they are learning in lockdown. Some are reading good books, some are reading, improving their languages, some are learning, practicing music. Extra time they got, no? They don't have to travel to the school, uniform. So many things. Perhaps if the institution is allowing them to wear a simple dress, not a uniform necessary, that also time saved. No need to travel also. So what new things they are learning during lockdown, ask them to share with you. And last them, I think, teach them compassion. Ask them to help people around them. Let them think about the children of their own servants, maid servants, or who comes and serve. Are they happy? Share. This is a time for you to think about it. Can you donate some amount to some NGO? Can you give food somebody migrant outside on the road? Let them participate. I think these 5 things you can. So, and mind focus during pandemic. I'll give you 4 or 5 points on this. Have you read the statement? Friends, I may be mathematician, I may be businessman, engineer, chartered accountant, dancer, actor, a professor, businessman, anybody I can be in the world. But without spiritual knowledge, I will never come to know how to handle my mind, how to handle my mind's problems. That is anger, greed, desperation, depression, dejection. I don't know. The mathematics subject teaches mathematics. Physics teaches physics. Chemistry teaches chemistry. Think about it. Biology is biology. What zoology? Zoology. Each subject has its own purpose. Languages teach languages. They make you perfect in that. But to live life, spirituality is the only subject in the world. Whether you belong to any religion, spiritual science is the only science in the world which will help you know how to handle my moods, mental moods, how to handle my minds, its games, how to keep it in concentrated mode, how to keep it in focused mode, how to keep it in balanced mode. This is known only through spirituality. Somebody said, I'm worried about my daughter's marriage now. Are pagal hai kya? Now in the present time, is it to be worried now? Present time is what? You must live happily. Happily means what? Basic food, clothing, shelter is there. No COVID had attacked you, and you're participating in some service in social country, in the nation, social society. You're participating something, doing help. Now, why worry about all those things now? Let one situation become normal in the world, then we'll think about it. Am I doubtful about my job? Yes, so many jobs, not you. Millions and millions have lost their jobs. But the focus is what? Can I live in bare minimum? This requires spirituality. Second one is, this is a golden time. I have 4 minutes left with me. I'll complete in 4 minutes. Create new habits in a subconscious. This is a beautiful time. One, you can practice meditation every day. My dear, you are all divine beings. Divinity is in your heart. No, you are divine. So wonderful you are, each one. You are in such a time, in such a period on planet, you can help the planet with your thoughts, with your prayers, with your meditation. Dedicate all that to earth, to humanity. Inspiration, no? So accept a new and healthy routine which will inspire you to stay inspired even beyond the lockdown, because such a foundation, this is the time to lay a beautiful foundation. I am also now, I got plenty of time to read good books. I am reading good books. I am referring my subjects. No tension, no travel, no talks. Third one, build relationships. I know, I'm sure families are together. Understand each other. When the ego layers are dropped down, curtains are dropped down, understand each other. Let the whole family be together, and they have understood each other now. So build relationships. This is a golden time. Instead of saying, I have to see your face only every day, morning till evening. Unfortunately, स्कूल के बच्चों के जब चले जाता हूँ, बच्चों के शक्ल देख सकते हैं. आजकल स्कूल भी नहीं जा रहा हूँ, आप ही का शक्ल देखना पड़ रहा है सुबह से शाम तक. Don't have this kind of thoughts. Lovely being with people. Learn to be with them. You are ordained to be with them by the Lord. And last one slide. I have 2 minutes to go. I will leave you 1 minute before. May I live simply that others may simply live. So beautiful statement of a great master, Tibetan master I am referred to. So I referred Gurudev and Tibetan master in this talk. So may I live simply so that others may simply live. So beautiful. So simplicity you bring, others will not have any tension and strain to live in our presence, in our absence also. In our absence, in the meaning, they are not depending on me. In my presence, meaning, they are not worried of my presence, of my anger, my personality, heat that may generate from my personality and torture everybody. That also is not there. I am pleasant. So that kind of situation, may I live simply that others may simply live. So beautifully. I think these are the things I wanted to share with you today. And may the Almighty Lord protect earth and protect all beings on earth. May we all remain attuned to a sense of total good in these testing times. Don't say, my industry, my family should be happy. No, let everybody be happy. Help, extend your hand, helping hands. Solve your problems by living in the present. So may the Supreme Lord bestow each one of you health, peace and prosperity, and may you stand in society, in the family, wherever you are. May you stand like a beautiful wisdom, lamp of wisdom, shedding light all around you, calm and quiet. Radiate that love, that wonderful personalities you are. And you can solve all the problems. And I pray to God to bestow each one of you some kind of intuitional wisdom which will help you, enable you to solve your own problems in a brilliant manner. You can discover new methods of solving problems of your life, your institutions, your workplace, etc. May God give you those brilliant ideas to all of you so that you can serve society and you can lead a beautiful life. Thank you very much. Hari Om. Over to Ashok Pandey.
Swamiji, my sincere gratitude to you for enlightening us. And as I said, you have left us in those 3 layers of inspiration: familiar awe, gratitude and surrender, and of course the mind shift change. And many new things, we always knew there is something called vision, but we didn't know there is something called benign vision. We knew about observation, but we didn't know about patient observation. We negotiated, but perhaps not calmly. We intervened, but not perhaps timely. perseverance we thought was always adequate, but it is not without a commitment to it. So all these things, I'm sure, are going to echo in our body system, in our thought process for a very, very long time. I really thank you, Swamiji, thank Chinmaya Mission, and thank all the organizers. And now I have in our midst a very senior mathematician, a veteran educationist, a former principal, a national awardee, and at present, director of Chinmaya Group of Schools in Chennai and around. And true to his name, he is an embodiment of truth because his name is Sri Satyamurthy. So Satyamurthy ji, if you can listen to me, kindly unmute yourself and sum up in few minutes what Swamiji has enlightened us about. Satyamurthy ji.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Hello. Can you hear?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Hari Om. Swami Chidrupananda ji and Ashok Pandey ji, then Suraj and other participants. I think last almost an hour what Swamiji was talking, what is necessary for the leaders and the other persons involved in the educational field. When he started off that actually that close your tap and see the light, what it is there down in the air, everything. I was just thinking about why Swamiji is talking about these things now at the time of the pandemic. Then he started off with that actually, what is the three things he wanted to tell us about things. I was wondering what it is. The attitudinal shift for the leaders is necessary during this pandemic time. I think something amazing actually there now, the 8 points, what he mentioned. Even Ashok Pandey ji is mentioned about, we all know that what is that negotiation, but we never thought that negotiate calmly. This is the first time I'm just hearing this kind of the 8 important points. I think even the last one, I was very much impressed upon that non-reactionary compliances. Correct. We always talk about, oh, what is this? CBSE is keep on asking us to do this. State government is asking us to do this. And BOM is asking us to do. We have to see that how to, without reaction, how to go about that actually. That is very important. Then 8 points, I think amazing, Swamiji. We never thought that we are going to hear that. Then after that, what happened suddenly, what to teach the children and what kind of the things. See, one thing I can tell you that now, the lot of teachers during this pandemic time, they all have become this, what you call the now, gadget savvies, actually, electrical gadget savvies. The reason is the teacher though never touch that, actually, what you call the iPad or anything. Now everybody started using that to have the online classes. And I do understand we were talking about, we are teaching what has to be done from the textbook. Now Swamiji has mentioned that a very important point actually. I think it is unimaginable. Teach one value and a quote every day. Do this. There is a lot of changes and happen in the, what do you call the now, children as well as the parents. The last one, as usual, that is a Chinmaya Mission. I think that there are a lot of people, those who are not aware of the Chinmaya Mission. I just thought that I can share it with you there now. You are all aware that Chinmaya Mission is under the, what do you call the now, CCMT, what we call it a Central Chinmaya Mission Trust, is founded in the year 1950 or 51. I think I'm not exactly in 50s that I know. And what we have is around about more than 350 centers all over the world. And we have in educational field around about 90 educational institutions are run, more than 90 institutions are run by Chinmaya Mission. I know Swami Chidrupananda ji when he was a brahmachari. I met him in the Vishwa Sammelan, and that is the first time I interacted. From that time onwards, I always keep in touch with. Whenever he comes to Chennai, it's my unbound actually now. Swamiji, I pray for the leaders and the teachers. Once again, I like to thank Swamiji. Spirituality, it is not that going something great actually. That's a build relationships. And the last statement, what you mentioned, may I live simply, that others may live simply life. Thank you very much, Swamiji, for the opportunity given to me to take part in this. Thank you very much, Swamiji. Thank you, Ashok Pandaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your brilliant sum up. It is almost like recapitulation of a classroom. So you have prepared us for that, and we can perhaps pass in a formative or summative assessment given by Swamiji, if at all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. I have an announcement to make. Suraj, you said there is a slide you would like to share, but in the meantime, may I announce with great pleasure to all the participants about the Ramayana School is an initiative started by a Chinmaya Mission member, Mr. Shantanu. He is a very famous author, a TV panelist, TEDx speaker. The Ramayana School does 6 days workshop for children, parents and teachers on 21st century skills of 4 C's: critical thinking, creative thinking, communication and collaboration. They have done such workshops in more than 10 countries across the globe to present leadership lessons from Ramayana through new age learning techniques. They are offering these workshops in the summer program now as 6 days summer camps. You can contact Shantanu. I believe his number is here. I'm just reading it, 9871929440. Or you can also visit the site, theramayana-school.com. That's easy to remember in this technological era. And thank you, Shantanu, for offering these programs to the school students, parents, and teachers. And now you can stop sharing the screen, Suraj, and I open the floor for question answer session. Yes. So, Suraj, are you handling the question and answer session?
Yes, sir. So we have some 18 questions which have come. Of course, considering that we have a time shortage till 12:30, we'll be only able to take a few of them. So, for the rest of the questions, what we can look at is, as we discussed, that if the participants are interested, Swamiji has kindly agreed for a question answer session later to handle all the rest questions. So we will announce it towards the end, but let us now take the 1 or 2 or 3 questions, whatever we can do right in this session.
Okay, please go ahead.
The first question. So Swamiji, the first question which has come out is, this is from Sangeeta Sahini ji. What should I do if I get anxiety during the coronavirus disease pandemic? In fact, it's always there in the mind. What now are the things to and how to get normal? Scared when my kids are going to work. How should I handle this anxiety?
Yes. Hari Om, Sangeeta ji, is it? Her name is Sangeeta, no?
Yeah, Sangeeta Sahini.
Okay. Where is she from? Any idea? No. Doesn't matter.
If you can type in the chat.
No, doesn't matter. Relax. Okay. Now, Hari Om, Sangeeta ji, a relevant question you asked. And this is the challenge. The challenge is how to keep mind in balance. That is the real challenge for all of us. Let us see now, what can I do it? Remember, one method I'll give you. Two methods I'll give you. One is, you must educate the mind, feed the mind always, stating that this is the situation now, this is a global pandemic, so learn to live with it. Not with the coronavirus I'm talking. Situations are like that. You don't have to worry. So feed your mind with positive thoughts. First one. I'm not analyzing that much now. Second thing is, practice meditation. In meditation, I'll give you one thing. What is the fear? The fear is that something happens to me or to my family, etc. As I told you, you attract what you fear, you become what you hate in the beginning itself. So instead of having that fear, every day sincerely pray for the healing of all those people in the world who are affected by coronavirus. Mysteriously, not only your fear will go, in your increasing that love for humanity, what will happen? Your own mind also will dissolve all its negativities and love will come out, and your prayers will be answered definitely. You will feel peace of mind also, and you can really come out of this fear of coronavirus. Live for totality, love, and love dissolves everything. You don't have to worry about it. It won't come to you. Why? Your mission is praying for totality. Instead of doing that, you are only worried about me, I. The coronavirus will listen to it definitely. And you will say, oh, here is the person who is inviting me. So be careful. Have this kind of a pure love and pray for totality. You will be safe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Swamiji. The second question, I'm going in the order in which the questions came. So I'm not choosing any question.
Okay.
The second question is from an anonymous attendee. How to sensitize my management towards for the employees' needs and fears? Using of abusing language and cutting their pay unnecessarily hinders the smooth functioning of the institute, which are not ready to realize owing to egoistic issues. Please show me how to tackle this situation as a principal.
I think he's the principal now. So he is being squeezed at one side, the staff and etc., teachers and staff, etc. Other side is management. Sir, this is a very difficult situation nowadays, no doubt about it. I ask you only, give one mantra. Sweetly be persistent. No doubt. One day they may get angry, management may not agree. Second day, pursue it gently. Third day, pursue it more gently. Even if they get angry, irritated, don't feel that you are being targeted. But pursue it. Only one formula I'm giving you. Pursue it. Otherwise, because the decision making with regards to perks and salaries, etc., is with them only, not with you. You are only implementing what the management says. But you want your management to take a benign outlook and be helpful, etc., etc. At this case, I request you gently pursue and pursue. Then lastly, leave it to the God. Other than that, don't pick up argument, fight. If you fight and create a more very bad situation around, the situation will be volatile. That will lead to very many complications. So I think you have to gently pursue, make them understand, and do it. I think I cannot give you any other answer other than that, and nothing is striking my mind right now other than gently pursuing it. Over.
Okay.
And committed perseverance also, Swamiji.
Yeah, committed. Correct. Same value. Ashokji, I think you are the right person to answer this question.
Sorry for intervention.
Yeah, please tell. No, Ashokji, you are right.
I'm fine.
You are right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You're right, sir. I just added
okay.
committed perseverance also.
That answer is okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You are an author of the many books also in education. That's why.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Are you? Suraj, next. Last question we'll take.
Okay. So this question is from Sri Abhinav Rajput ji.
Hmm.
And his question is, how one can know whether his or her decision is right in the given circumstances, whether they are
Yeah.
taking the right decisions.
So there is a Upanishad which speaks, Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad, beautifully it says, Yatra ye vichikitsa santi, tatra sammarshinaha, yukta ayuktaha aluksha. I mean, what it says is that, when you are in doubt, when you are not able to take decision, don't take decision independently. The Upanishad says so beautifully, go and ask elders, experts in that field, and think about it and then take a decision. So take help. Nobody, suppose a doctor is there. Doctor cannot take independent decision. He has a panel of doctors. Similarly, in some cases, there is always a panel decides, not the individual. Friends, I'm telling you, all of you, suppose I'm a Swami, I'm Swami now, heading a particular ashram here in Noida, Chinmaya Mission. Suppose, because I'm the head, I only should take decisions and my decisions alone are to be considered, etc., etc. I am not a good manager. I always ask 20 people certain decisions. I don't take at all. I said, these are all your problem. You take decisions and I'll solve it. Where I have to take decisions, if I'm unable to take decision, I consult. So this is the only mantra: consult and take decisions. Don't be in hurry if the decision need not be addressed immediately. Thank you. Suraj?
Okay.
Acha,
Thank
one
you,
more
Swamiji.
thing, I'll announce all of you. Thank you all participants and everyone who is participating. I'm happy to announce that one thing. I will be sharing the PDF format, the talk file, with the principals and part-wise. That Suraj will decide. Every institute will get. Probably they can circulate it to just the team. I made a PowerPoint, the document in PDF format. It is ready. I will just share it with everybody. Whoever wants it, kindly consult Suraj Sudhakar. He will send you through WhatsApp or email. Now my job is done. Suraj will look after this. Thank you, Ashok Pandeji, for wonderful being moderator, and Satyamurthy ji for coming on the board, and Yuva Kendra members for organizing it very well. And thanks for blessings of Chinmaya Mission Noida elders, and also my love to all of you, whoever is present and listening to me. May your hearts continue to remain pure, and may your families be happy. May you all fulfill yourself, your life on earth. May you serve society. May you get experience immense peace in your hearts, in your life. May God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Suraj, chant Purnamadaha, we will conclude.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Swamiji, before that, an announcement, Swamiji.
Ashok Pandey also want to conclude, I think.
Just an announcement, and then we can conclude.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, there are many other questions which were there. So what I suggest is I am just sharing a number on the screen. Please note down this number. Just a second. Yeah, are you able to see the screen? Yeah, 1 second. Yes. So please share your interest to have another session just for the question and answers, because as I said, there are many more questions which we were not able to answer today. So please send a WhatsApp message to Piyush Kukreti. His number is here, 9958 112838. And please send a message on WhatsApp with your name, designation, institution, and email ID. We will record that.
One second. Suraj, 1 second. All the attendees, you can click the photograph of this slide screen through your mobile also, so that everything will come into it. You can click a photograph of the slide of the screen. Sorry. Yeah, continue, Suraj.
Yeah, so we will be organizing this question and answer session only for those interested participants who wants to ask questions to Swamiji. It will be a 30 or a 45-minute session. And last announcement, just as we log off from the Zoom link, there will be a feedback form which will appear. in your browser and request you to fill in the
Hello,
feedback
hello,
form.
Suraj. Somebody says not opening form.
No, that will appear once we stop this presentation. The Zoom itself will display that. So over to Ashok Pandeyji to conclude it, and we can chant the Purnamada after that.
Yes, I think Swamiji has already blessed all of us. And
Okay.
On my part, I wanted to thank once again Swamiji, Satyamurthy ji, Suraj, you and your family, Lakshmi and Chinmay, and all the participants. And I joined Chinmaya Mission in wishing them all the best, wishing them very safe, healthy stay, and wishing them that they come out of this dilemma with more empowerment now after listening to Swami Chidrupananji. So my thanks to all the participants for their patient participation. And I'm sure now they will all commit themselves with perseverance, with the attitudinal shift that Swamiji has suggested, and those values inculcation in the children. I think we will be able to steer clear of this problem. Thank you very much, Suraj. You can begin the chanting now.
Thank you, Ashokji. Thank you for Vinitji also to manage this session. He was having the technical
Vinit,
team who
thank you
managed.
very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.
Shubham. Thank you. Swasti.